Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I'm Matt, and I've got opinions on stuff.
What's going on? I'm Ray, and I've got opinions on things as well. Welcome to Plausible Foolishness, man. You ready to go today?
Yes, I am ready to
Dude,
go.
I'm so jacked up. I'm so pumped that I wore my Donald Pump shirt on today for the show, so I'm so jacked up. There's been some fun announcements that we're going to talk about ad nauseum today at the show today. It's going to be an epic show as usual, but before we get into our humbug, make sure to be a full-on rube, to really support the P-Fools here at Plausible Foolishness, because we're two normal dudes, we're just normal cats from normal America that flyover country that we talk about. And, we're not from D.C., we're not from New York, we're not from San Francisco or L.A. We're actually real people giving real opinions on real things. And if you really love us and like us, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. That's what helps us out so much. So if you're watching us on the live streams right now on Instagram or Facebook, I'm going to give you a 20-minute shot clock, and then I'm sending you over to YouTube, because that is really where you can check out the show in its full entirety, so you can see the logos, you can see the music, you can see all the fun stuff that we do on this show. And
you can hear the sounds.
You can hear the sounds. Make sure that you like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's where we have some respectful back and forth with some not so Ruby Rubes like you guys. But we have some fun with it as well. And for the Patreons, we are so thankful for the Patreons, because, again, we can't have the lights on like we do. We can't do the things that we're doing without you, Rubes. And we really appreciate and value your time. So make sure you, if you really like us, if you really, really, really like us, support us. We will take your money and we will use it. Trust me. But we'll use it in a proper way. But make sure that YouTube is really the place that we want you to go. So shift over there if you're not watching it already. But you ready to get into this bad boy today?
Yes.
Matt, here's the thing.
Yes, I am.
Matt, I'm not going to lie to you. Rube Nation, Rube Empire, Rube Army. Uncle Ray doesn't have a voice today, but I'm going to bring it for you today. I've been sick as a dog for the last couple days, man. I've been just enjoying the show and the ride. That is sickness, because for the last 2 weeks in my home, people have been sick, which is crazy. But, at the end of the day, I'm here for the Rubes. I'm a gamer. I came to play, okay?
It's true.
I came to play.
He's here.
I'm here. I'm ready to rock and roll.
His voice doesn't work, and he's putting on a live stream for you.
But I'm putting the live stream on. I'm putting it all up right now. So what's up? What's up, Big J Redneck? What's up, big man? He was watching me lift some big weights yesterday, so it was a lot of fun. So here's the deal. We're not playing around. We're not playing around to the point where, here's the deal. Before the show, Matt showed me his quads. He's getting quads. He's in the gym. He's bleeding. He's doing all the things he needs to get better for you guys, for this show, and for what we're trying to do. So make sure that you like and subscribe us on YouTube. But let's get into this fun stuff. There is a seismic shift happening in the world right now. Seismic. And what do you think I mean by that, Matt? A seismic shift.
Well, seeing as how we mostly talk about politics, I'm going to say you mean politics.
Absolutely, man. Now, here's the deal. I am not an idiot, okay? I'm not an idiot. I look like I'm stupid. I look like I'm not that smart. I'm a conspiracy fanatic, okay? You can hit that doubly. If there was a double time for that.
That was a response to I'm not an idiot.
Yes, exactly, man. So here's the deal.
Conspiracy theory. Ray's
Listen,
not an idiot.
A conspiracy theory.
Just kidding.
I promise you, I'm not stupid. But here's the thing. For a long time, I had a hard time with this idea, because at the end of the day, I've been preaching this for a long time. There's Democrat and Republican. They're like two sides of the same coin most of the time, okay? I fought that in the last election. Really, I thought this election was more for globalism versus populists, right? This is more building the world versus building America, and that's kind of what Trump represented. Brexit's represented what's been going on over in France and going on over in Italy. But here's the deal. I used to really believe, I truly, truly believe that Republicans and Democrats were the same type of people. Now, I'm not inferring morality. I'm not saying that Democrats are evil people by nature. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there has been a seismic shift in what's going on in our parties. This is going to sound shocking and crazy and whatever, but I am a registered Democrat. Now, I haven't changed that since I've moved to Florida. I've kept it the same. I've lived in Florida now for, I've been here, 2008 was when I was a strength coach at good old USF, Go Bulls, okay?
That's 11 years.
11 years ago, I was a tried and true blue boy. Do you know why I was a tried and true blue boy?
Because you believe the lie?
Well, I believe the lies. I'll be honest with you. I believe that the Democratic Party was genuinely out for the little guy. I thought that. I believed that for a long time. I thought for sure those guys that come and ask for my vote every single year are looking out for me. Why? Because I grew up in a little town called Troy, Ohio, okay? Basically a river rat. If you literally Google search my town or my house where I grew up in, and you switch the view on Google Maps, you will see a county fair in the 360 view, okay? So, listen, I'm just as redneck as I am black, okay? I've got both sides coming out right now, okay? Reality situation is I believe the Democrat Party was out for the people. I thought they were out for me. I thought they were here to help me out. Not on top of that, I'm a minority in America. I thought that they were looking out for the little guy in the minority class. I thought they were looking out for me. I thought they were going to help me out and give me big tax breaks and help me along with life and so on and so forth. At least that was promised. That's what...
So many people believe that. I mean, I've got friends who believe that very strongly, passionately.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And they believe it. They believe, that Trump is the exact opposite of that. All the common... common lies,
I thought the Democratic Party was JFK. I really did. I thought the Democratic Party was JFK, and I was like, you know what? I can get behind JFK. Maybe not
I can get behind JFK.
Yeah, man.
If you listen to his speeches, they're like 100 times more conservative than
anything Donald Trump says.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you heard excerpts from his speech in Miami yesterday, but that was pretty conservative.
Oh, yeah.
But, But the ideals he's talking about are definitely more, 100 times more conservative than anything coming from the left today.
100%.
And a lot of what comes from the right in many cases,
Jay Redneck on Instagram just said both parties are out to get us, and I would agree with you. Because here's the deal. There's a reason why I was a registered Democrat for a long time. I was a registered Democrat because at the end of the day, wasn't a fan of the weapons of mass destruction Bush regime. I'm not going to lie to you. Wasn't a big fan of that. I wasn't a big fan of all of our money getting poured into Iraq and trying to topple and try to nation build.
Yeah, nation building is
dude. I'm so
a fool's errand.
I was very against that. I was totally against that, 100%.
Well, think about it. What nation built us? France came and helped us.
Yeah,
sure, but we did it. We're the ones who built who freed ourselves, and then we built this country.
Yep.
Our ancestors, of course.
Sure.
And immigrants that came over, and invested in the American dream.
Yeah.
The real American dream.
Oh yeah. Not
the one that promises you a house and a fancy car and so on. But the real American dream of constitutionally protected rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which, as I've mentioned before, really means private property.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal, and I'm not going to sit on here and say that the Republican Party is the end-all, be-all, because here's the deal, and I'm saying that as I'm wearing my Donald Trump shirt. Okay, all right. I voted. I'm gonna own this. I'm gonna own this on Plausible Foolishness. I voted for Barack Obama twice. I voted for him the first time because I thought hope and change. And I voted for him again because I was like, this guy's got to fix his problem. He's got to fix what he's going to do. And I didn't trust Mitt Romney whatsoever. And I'm kind of okay with the decision I made there. But the flip side is Obama was in, and then he threw Obamacare at us on the second deal. So I made a mistake. Trust me. I was a registered Democrat. I am talking to you as a guy who came from that side. I walked away. What is that? Is that the trendy thing?
Mm-hmm. Hashtag walk away.
I'm a walk-awayer. And they got pissed.
He just did it. He did it before it was cool.
I did it way before it's cool. And then when I started running my business, I was like, what the heck is going on? And I woke up really quick. I was like, what is the government taking from me? Yeah.
Well, that's why withholding is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it gets under our radar.
100%.
We just get our money and we go about life. And we don't feel the sting of the taxes unless you really look at your paycheck and then go, Oh, I could have used that money.
100%. 100%. Now, here's the thing. I will say this because I'm very neutral, okay? I'm very anti-globalist. I'll be honest with you. I think the party system's kind of a joke because let's get real. Some of the rock stars of the Republican Party are rhinos. They are Republican in name only, okay? As much as I love Jim Jordan's a good guy. He's from the great state of Ohio. Hasn't done anything. He's talked tough, hasn't done anything. Said he's going to repeal Obamacare, and when he got the chance, didn't do it. Trust me. The Republicans are just as bad, but here's what I'm trying to get at. The reason why the title today is Seismic Shift, and if you're watching on Instagram or YouTube or on Instagram or Facebook, switch over to YouTube so you can see these cool graphics. Right? The reason why it's so important for us to talk about the distinction between the left and right today in 2019 is because a lot of people still believe the things that I believed years ago. They still think the Democratic Party is for the little people. They still think the Democratic Party is for the marginalized and the minority. They still think that the left is the place of tolerance and open for all ideas and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, it's not the same left we're talking about. It's not JFK's left anymore.
It used to be that they were two sides of the same coin. You know, they both just wanted a better America. They just disagreed about, you know, the way to
go about it.
You know, and I think in JFK's time, that was true at least for the politicians at the time.
Sure.
For you know, I mean, we can get into the nitty gritty of
JFK wanted to get rid of the Fed. Okay, which we'll get into that later on. But that's a totally different. That is a foreign language nowadays. Mm-hmm. Anyways, but
I mean, what was the guy? Not Arlen Specter. He's the guy who fell on the gym equipment and got all bruised up and.
Oh, who's this now?
He was a politician. I can't remember his name. He was like the Speaker of the House or
Rand Paul.
No. He's a Democrat.
Oh
gosh.
I'm not sure.
He's not in there anymore. Dang it, I can't remember.
It's okay.
Anyway, he used to give a speech every year to audit the Fed.
Yeah.
And he was a Democrat doing that. And then, you know, the last couple of years of his tenure, he suddenly didn't have anything bad to say about
It's weird.
The Fed because
money talks, baby.
Well, and the times they were a changing.
Because here's the deal, and the reason why we bring it up now is if you didn't know, the Democratic frontrunner for the 2020 election for presidential campaign is now Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is running again. And
you mean Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders?
No, he's oh yeah, that's right, Democratic Socialist. And at the end of the day, like, the funny thing is, the Democratic Party is always going to be synonymous with the Socialist Party, whether we like it or not. And for a long time, nobody would ever think about that. Like, the true blue Southern Democrat never thought of that concept of socialism or anything like that. But as the years have progressed, this is not the party for the little guy. When they say socialism, it doesn't mean they actually want people to improve their situation together. What they actually mean is they want to take the rich and bring them down a notch and then bring everyone else down a notch. Look at any other socialist country that's out there in the world. Look at Venezuela. They have not elevated anybody to any status.
They want control.
They want control.
They bring the top down, keep the bottom where they are, and then suddenly we got the elite ruling class and the rest of us.
Yeah.
And they've got complete control.
100%.
And then you're, eating zoo animals.
I gotcha.
Eventually. I mean, it may not happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Although, $22 trillion in debt, I don't think it'll take that long.
100%. One of our buddies wants to join in on Instagram here. He's letting us join in. Real phaser. We got some live interaction tonight, man. Tuesday night's a hot night, man. It's all good. But so here's the deal, and this is what I really want to bring to the light. There he is. What's up, big dog?
Hey, how's it going, Ray?
What's up? Well, no, man. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show, man. We got some live feed, baby.
I was just talking to someone.
Yeah.
About the whole socialism thing.
Yeah.
And and you guys are bringing up a good point. So I kind of wanted to join in. Now, if anybody doesn't know who I am, I was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. I was an intelligence analyst.
Thanks for your service.
Thanks for your service, big dog. We love you, by the way.
Appreciate the support. So I've been overseas. I've gone to the Philippines. I've gone to Afghanistan, and I served on the 31st MU. So I kind of have an idea, not only an idea, but I have some level of knowledge of how these countries have run. And this is a big problem, right, that we have in the United States. We have forgotten what socialism is or communism
100%.
is, right? And there's a couple of things that I've always pointed out to people when I'm talking to them about socialism and how ignorant American citizens are, right? And there's people like, oh man, you call American citizens ignorant? I say, well, yeah. I'd rather be ignorant than be stupid.
Amen.
Right? Ignorance is the lack of knowledge. Stupid is that you have that knowledge. You just ignore it anyways.
That's a good point.
But what I wanted to say is, most people don't realize. Yeah, my hair does come standard with my DD214. What I wanted to point out is that Americans fail to realize how big the United States is, and like, what's that have to do with socialism? Like, well, hold on. The United States is a country of countries.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is what the state system is.
Federal. Yep.
It is. One of our individual states is a lot of our individual states are bigger than multiple countries.
True.
Okay. And that's not talking about Texas. We're talking about Florida. We're talking about South Dakota or whatever. They're bigger than Spain, with populations comparable to. The only difference is that over there it's more concentrated.
Mm-hmm.
And
homogeneously ethnic.
Yes.
And homogeneously ethnic. And so, what does that mean, right? So, okay, their ethnic background. Well, you share a culture, right? You share moral values, right? This is what I was talking about with my friend a few moments ago, actually. It's that, she's pointing out to China. She worked in China as a social worker. And, I didn't want to get into too much into it with her, but I was like, that's fine. But, they're a very homogenous country in which their moral values are relatively the same. So if you look at Norway or Sweden or whatever, they still have capitalism.
Yep.
Right? But anyways, what's the whole point with socialism? Socialism, it's a Marxist rule, right? It's Marxism, if you really look into Marxism.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what it's doing is it's giving more power to the government, more power to the politicians.
Yep.
And which essentially takes away the freedom of the people. And in the United States, I've been a big speaker on privacy, right? Talking about, making sure you secure your information on your phone and all that kind of stuff. Because we're so good at, we like the convenience of things, and so we give up our privacy. And the more we give up our privacy, the more we give up our freedom. And so, since we're used to giving up our privacy to these companies like Facebook, Instagram, and Google,
yep,
or whatnot,
yep,
and we're so used to giving all this stuff to the government, to us it doesn't seem like a big problem. It's like, well, we already give it to them anyways. They've been treating us good. Why not just give them more?
Yep. Yep.
Have you seen the social collateral system in China that they implemented?
No, I have not. I mean, I haven't really looked too much into China, which is why.
Well, yeah, basically, it's like you have a good citizen score, and you do things, that score can fluctuate, yep, and eventually, if your score goes low enough, you can't buy anything, yep, you can't, yep, get you can't get a plane ticket, or you're just and it's all your whole life is monitored.
Yep.
I do remember that, and I laughed at that because there was actually an anime. Calm down, but this is actually really good, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's an anime, and it's obviously a Japanese anime, and it had a similar system. This is years old, and it was actually a really good anime because it's cops who have these guns who can, when they point at you, the gun makes the decision, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's a good one. What's it called? Because one of the guns get corrupted and basically points at a guy that's evil and it won't shoot him, right?
Yes, because what they end up finding out at the end is it gets a little crazy and nutty, but the way that they use in the algorithm, the person who using the gun is not just one person. He was like, he's a multitude of people that were put together surgically, so that's how he was able to cheat the system or something. And so, like, the algorithm couldn't determine who he was.
That's a good anime, yeah.
And so he cheated the system. And so what happens is, like, they couldn't fight back. And I'm not saying it's going to get like that, but it was kind of an interesting concept, saying,
sure,
we got cameras. You're going to try to predict crime, and you're going to convict people, or you're going to limit people's freedoms based on a score, based on their attributes. And it's like, people are okay with that.
Yep.
Like, how are you okay with that?
Well,
and then, so what ends up happening is like, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. So Venezuela, everyone says, well, let's not talk about Venezuela because we pull it up all the time. But Venezuela is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Venezuela was a really capitalist country with, lots of money, obviously.
Yeah, economy was good there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very homogenous country too, right?
Yep.
Very homogenous country as well. It didn't work for them.
Nope.
Let's get more. Let's get the government to do this. But what are they doing? They've taken businesses and eliminated them. They've stolen businesses. Hey, if you don't pay up, we're gonna take your business.
Yep.
So what's the point? No one's gonna work.
Yeah.
100%.
But looking at it, and they'll say, okay, well, what about the argument against capitalism? Look at capitalism. It's an evil system. It's like, well, why is it an evil system? It's like, well, look at the sweatshops. The sweatshops, in China or whatever. I was like, in China.
Right?
Yep.
Communist China.
Communist China. Weird.
But it's a result of capitalism, because capitalism is evil.
No.
And it's like, look, people are evil, right?
Yep.
People, no matter what level of system,
Yep.
right, you put in, we used to have a saying, don't trust the system, right?
Yeah.
You don't trust the system. Because once you put trust in someone else who doesn't have the same values as you,
Yep.
who doesn't have the same ideas as you or whatever, even the same culture, right?
Yep.
You're going to have them impose their ideologies on me,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to make me pay for that.
Yep.
And that's a really big issue that I see, and it's actually really unfortunate that it's occurring, because I grew up thinking, right, that it's okay to have a system like that, like to have a socialist system, right?
Yeah.
I grew, when I was going through high school, I was participating in all these stuff, and I had these ideas, but luckily I was considering my sub demon. Luckily, I kept an open mind about what was going on, and as I progressed into the military and I started researching and I started seeing what these countries are doing, what these politicians are doing, right? They'll say one thing and they'll do another, but in reality, like what you see in on the news, right, is one thing, which is what they want to say, and then what they do is something else, but they're doing something beyond that, and that's where a lot of people actually don't have that,
Yeah, they only have that surface level realization.
They just don't have the whole facts, man. But dude, thanks for calling in, man. We really appreciate you for calling in, man. We love the insightfulness, man.
I hijacked the whole thing.
No, you're good. Hey, listen, we love the interaction, man. So, hey, go like us on YouTube, man, and join us up over there, man. Thanks so much, man. We appreciate you. All right, man.
Yep.
Love it, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the reasons why the nation building that we tried to do
Doesn't
in
work.
the Middle East didn't work, because they don't want freedom. They don't have that value.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Yeah.
And the thing is that we're a melting pot country with so many different things, and the problem is if we start going down the socialist road, like my man was talking about here, it's just going to open you up to things that are more savage, that are more that will take more freedoms away, because you're only one step away from Sharia law at that point. I mean, if you think about it, like there's really socialism and Sharia law kind of work hand in hand. I hate to break it to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same concept. It's an elite group of people suppressing a people and having the power, and the idea is the people are the power. It's not the case. You're just enhancing.
No, but it's democratic.
But it's not. Their elections are rigged. Do you really think Saddam Hussein? You think Saddam Hussein won all those elections?
Well, and that wasn't. And that's a whole nother can of worms, because Saddam Hussein was put into power to suppress the Islamic, the caliphates.
Exactly.
After World War II, I believe, or was it World War I?
Yeah.
No, it was World War I, because the Ottoman Empire, whatever.
But anyways, the point is the point of the seismic shift is there's got to be a reality check at Americans, and I know that we don't like to go deep, and I liked what my man had to say there, like. There's a surface level of knowledge that people have about socialism. And on the surface, it always looks good that everybody gets stuff. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets free education.
Nobody's left behind.
No one's left behind, and blah, blah, blah.
But that's not true. Everybody's just dropped in the gutter.
Exactly. They're describing utopia that doesn't exist.
Except for, our glorious leader.
Of course.
And
fearless
the people
leader.
that, surround him.
Exactly.
That's why, like, the best jobs in these communist countries, like if you want to like eat in China or like North Korea, you work for the military.
Yep.
You work for the government. The only good job is a government job there.
Yep.
Venezuela. Do you think that? I mean, these have
that's the only thing.
Such a sad state, but.
That's the only thing that's keeping that president in power is the military. That, it's the machine. It's what they're suckling off of. Mm-hmm. Because the military in Venezuela is probably doing really, really well. The people aren't. And the people are eating zoo animals. The people are the, like, average is like losing 30 pounds or something like that. Average adult lost 30 pounds. Now, for America, that might be a good thing in that sense. But at the end of the day, like, that eliminates choice. And here's the thing. The seismic shift in the Democratic Party is that of socialism. And they're so brazen about it. They want, it's not about you anymore. It's about power for them. How can we amass power? Well, let's tell these people that we're going to give them a lot of power, and it's going to be people power and blah, blah, blah. And you're seeing the results. Ocasio-Cortez just nixed 25,000 jobs in New York. Just got rid of them. Yeah, because she didn't want to give a tax cut to Amazon.
Now, did she... She didn't. My understanding is that she didn't. I mean, she's in federal. She's in the House of Representatives, so she didn't like enact a law or anything like that. She
wouldn't give
her Amazon. Rhetoric caused a situation where Bezos and Amazon were like,
"No, thanks.
New York isn't going to be a good place for us."
Yeah,
and she openly spoke out against it.
And celebrated when she kicked out Amazon from New York.
Yeah, when she got them to leave.
So if you're one of the New Yorkers that needed a really good paying job like Amazon, you don't get it anymore because a 29-year-old bartender who got herself into Congress kicked that situation out. Yeah. That's what socialism leads you. Yeah. And she's going to celebrate that.
And then I love that they're people, the math that she gave, So they've got like $3 billion. They were being promised $3 billion in tax breaks.
Yeah.
Now to her,
and good point. Bezos is a lefty too.
Yeah.
Bezos a lefty, and he still said no.
Yeah, he's like,
bye. I'm out.
He's a capitalist lefty, and he probably still operates under the two sides of the same coin deal.
It's not real.
It's not. It's gone. That's gone.
Yeah.
But so $3 billion in tax breaks, and to her that means that the government is paying Amazon $3 billion to come there. No, it just means that out of the $27 billion of revenue that was going to come to New York because of Amazon being there, they would pay $3 billion less. So it was 27 minus 3.
Yep. And here's the other problem with that math. How much money does the government generate? Zero.
Big fat goose egg.
Taxation is theft. Do you know how the government makes money?
Give us your money.
It's called taxes.
Yep.
That's the problem. Like when you put people in the left in there, they think, "Oh, we're going to pay them $3 billion to come here." No, you're going to steal $3 billion less than you were going to steal anyways to be there. And that's the hilarious thing about this whole situation. That's what blows me away, is that's what they're celebrating. Bernie just comes out and announces he's running for president. One of the first things that he said was he talks tough to Amazon. It's not a good thing to lose jobs. That's the hilarious thing about this whole situation.
Yeah.
Every time the left now, it's not even Democrats, it's just the left touches jobs, they disappear. They gone. And here's the other thing they'll flip out. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're going to do $15 minimum wage. Is that going to help or hurt jobs?
It's going to hurt jobs. It's going to hurt it destroys the dollar.
Yes.
Okay?
Because here's the deal. Every time that somebody gets a $15 minimum wage, which is okay, whatever, but the reality situation is this. Do you think McDonald's hires more people with a $15 an hour wage? No. They buy kiosks.
Which they already did.
Which they're already doing.
They already did that.
To save money.
Yeah.
Because that's how business works.
So either they pay their people more, right?
Yeah.
Or they cut jobs, right?
Yeah.
And so one of two things is going to happen. So they pay their people more.
Yeah.
And then they raise prices.
Yes.
Or they don't and go out of business. So now they've raised prices on the things that you need. Suddenly, that $15 an hour that was supposed to be a living wage isn't a living wage anymore because everything costs more now.
So it's
now your dollar is less effective at purchasing things.
Yes. So it's a
There
double
should
whammy.
never have been a minimum wage ever.
So it's a double whammy. It's a loss of jobs and a deterioration. It's an inflation and devaluation of our dollar. That's not going to help, but that's what the left's running on. The left's also, now here's the deal. What's the opposite? What does the right want to run on? The right wants to run on capitalism. You know what capitalism creates? Competition, freedom. It creates all those things that allow us to have the things that we have. At the end of the day, you're an Apple guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you. At the end of the day, no, I'm just okay, right? That's the beautiful thing about America. If I don't want to deal with an annoying operating system that is Apple, I can just use Samsung or I can use Microsoft. I don't have to deal with Apple or Macintosh or whatever the heck it is. I don't even know what it is. Okay? If you like Coke or Pepsi, this guy's a Pepsi guy.
Yes.
I'm a classic Coke guy. There's competition. In socialism, you don't get that. You get RC Cola, and you get
You get Tab.
A Tab.
You get Tab, and that's it.
You get Tab, and then your operating
Official
system.
soft drink of the United States government.
Your operating system's like Luxor or something. I don't even know what that is, but you know what I mean? And that's all you get. You don't get innovation. You don't get job creation. You don't get all the things. There's no professional sports in socialist countries, guys. Where you're worshiping LeBron, you're not going to have that in socialist countries. Sorry. They're going to pull him out for the Olympics every once in a while and roll him up like the Russians do. That's about it. And they do that every year. It is what it is. But the right, here's the thing with the right. You allow freedom. And when companies compete, guess what? They have to compete for the quality of their products.
Now,
Go ahead.
we also have to be warned, we look at the state of capitalism in America today,
Yep.
and we see, there's the argument of companies that don't pay their fair share. Well, that's because we've been indoctrinated into a progressive tax system
Yes.
our whole life, so we think that everybody has to pay their fair share or whatever. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But, you got companies getting away with, murder. You got the ideas of the rich getting richer, and the little guys getting squashed. Why is that? Why is that happening?
No.
It's because big corporations, are in bed with big government.
100%.
Instead of being, in completely different sectors, they've come together, and so you get things like the cable industry, where it's a regulated utility, and so you have maybe two options in your city. Maybe a third one is coming, but there's no little guy mom and pop cable company
It's not happening.
offering you a better alternative and cheaper price because they can't.
Yep.
They can't. It's wildly expensive because the government has made it such.
Yep.
Where's the competition for our electricity?
It's a good question. Tesla tried to, but Renaissance says, here's his comment. He said they did the math on the cost of one of those blank burgers. They'd be 5 cents. So he basically saying that the cost is going up. Minimum wage hasn't gone up. Okay, here's the reality situation. Okay, running a business, and I used to think this way until I ran a business. Here's the reality. Why do people go into business? Why do people go into business?
To make money.
To make a profit. Now, the left is going to tell you that that's an evil concept. While they tax you to death, increase your taxes and take more money from you that they have not generated themselves. But the point of actually running a business is to make a profit. That's the whole point. Now, for me to run a successful business, I have to bring in money. Because if I'm not bringing in money, there's no point in me running that business or that service or whatever, okay? For me to entice employees to work with me, I've got to pay them a really good wage for them to stick around long enough to do what they've got to do. For me to make money, I've got to be able to produce a good that people want at a competitive rate and so on and so forth. So yes, hypothetically, it might cost 5 cents for that McDonald's cheeseburger, but at the end of the day, for the business to make money, that cheeseburger needs to be 99 cents. And you're going to sell a lot of those cheeseburgers because you're paying for the rent of the place, the electricity, the fryers, the insurance, the legal. You're doing all this stuff that nobody talks about. So I get your argument, but here's the problem. You're not seeing the big picture. It may cost 5 cents to mix the cheeseburger, but you've got to go through manufacturers that go out and kill those cows, that mass produce that meat. There's just so many things that are involved, and you still got to turn a profit so that you stay in the game.
So yeah, and so it's not just the wages of the McDonald's employees, it's the wages of every person
you have
on
to
that
think,
line.
And that's the problem. You have to think bigger. And socialism doesn't think bigger.
No.
It doesn't. Socialism is based on envy and greed. Sorry.
No, he makes another point. The cost of goods have been going up for years, but the minimum wage hasn't moved. I argue there should be no minimum wage. But why has the cost of goods gone up?
Well, the
Have
Fed. Talking about
That's exactly what I was going to say. Have you heard of quantitative easing?
Yeah,
where they printed digitally billions of dollars, if not trillions.
Yep.
After the 2008 bubble, which was also created by the government, in case you didn't know.
Yes.
And just flooded the market with it.
Yep.
Our dollar is not. There's minimum wage isn't the only way that they've devalued our dollar.
Yes.
They've devalued our dollar in innumerable other ways,
yes.
which is why it costs more of those dollars to buy the things, and yet the minimum wage hasn't moved. The minimum wage moving isn't going to solve that problem.
And here's the other big problem in the whole situation. You're not entitled to a job. Let me repeat that in case you missed it. You're not entitled to a job. You're not. Like when our immigrant or quote unquote immigrants came over to America, no one's entitled to a job. There's no welfare system set up. Guess what they had to do? Build their own houses, build their own roads, cook their own food, do their own thing. There's nothing in the Constitution that guarantees you a job. It's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's nothing there. So let's start at that basis. You're entitled to nothing. You're entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Some people are happy just milking welfare and just chilling in their house. Some people are into that. But life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not entitled to job, which means you've got to kind of build. The reason why Americans pick ourselves up by our bootstraps is we got to go out and create things. We innovate things. We go work hard. We go work in factories. We go do whatever. But you got to work for it, okay? And guess what? If that job isn't paying you enough money, guess what the most beautiful thing in America you can do is? Unlike a socialist country, you can change your profession, do something else. You can literally go where you want to go. You have mobility in America. You have freedom to do that. You have the pursuit of happiness. No one's going to stop you from doing that. So I get it. McDonald's is the bad guy. Walmart's the bad guy. But you don't have to work for them. And here's the flip side about minimum wage. There should be no minimum wage. There should be a competitive wage that the business owner decides on to make money. Because here's the deal. If the business owner screws over the employees, it's going to bring down the quality of his product. And at the end of the day, he's not going to make any money. He's got to make the customer happy. He's got to make the employees happy. And that's what makes big business. That's what makes money. That's what makes business. And nobody thinks about this stuff. But this is why you have the stuff that you have now. This is why you have the smartphone
it's not even
that
they
you're
don't
watching
think
us.
about it. They may not even know.
I know. You don't know what you don't know. And I get it. But the laptop you're watching us on right now, or the iPhone or whatever, literally was built on capitalism. Sorry. China didn't develop this stuff. Samsung's from South Korea. South Korea, is that oh yeah, that's one of the countries we propped up and gave them freedom. Thanks. You're welcome, South Korea. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, freedom is what creates innovation. It's what gives you the things that you're looking for. What gives you the opportunity to move up. That's why all these great stories are out there. Who's the guy that's running for he's running independently from Starbucks.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he came from the
CEO
freaking Bronx.
Of Starbucks.
Came from nothing. Now he's the CEO
Howard
of Starbucks.
Schultz.
Howard Schultz. That's the beautiful thing about America. You can go from nothing and make something of yourself in America. You cannot do that in China. Sorry. You can't do that in India. It's called a caste system. You are stuck where you are. You can't do that in Pakistan. You can't do that in most African nations. You can't do that in Venezuela. You have to live. In America, that's the beautiful thing about it. And everybody wants to change it, but that's the reality. Another thing.
Yeah, Bill Gates built his company out of his garage. You know, Steve Jobs, same thing.
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey, same thing.
Dave Ramsey.
You know, how many stories are there of people who come from nothing?
Yeah.
Or you had some idea and worked on it in their garage. You know,
Listening to us right now.
Jeff Bezos in garage too.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos garage. Yeah. He lost all that money though in that divorce though, unfortunately. But anyways, what I was gonna say was, like, at the end of the day, most of you are employed by small business owners. If there's more taxes on those business owners, you don't have an opportunity to get those jobs. Sorry. And I can say that as a guy who's run businesses. I employed probably over 500 people in my tenure running my company the way I ran it, okay? Different model now, but it is what it is. Like, I get where people are coming from, but guess what? At the end of the day, I had to put my name on the line. It's my name that's on the tax return. For me to conduct business, it has to be profitable. And God forbid I made some money off of that. I'm so evil. I'm such a wicked capitalist. But most of you are employed by small business owners. If a government oppresses them, they will take their business other places. Ireland's got like the lowest tax rate. I'd love to live in Ireland. That'd be kind of fun. There'd be no sunshine.
There used to be abortion free too.
Yeah, it used to be. But that takes us to the next part, okay? The left used to be all about the kids. Well, we care about your education and we care about the life of your kids. And we've talked about that ad nauseum on this show. Thank God we live in Florida. Our boy DeSantis just overturned Common Core. But I saw a joke on Instagram the other day. Okay, if you go to trade school, what do you learn?
A trade?
If you go to a religious school, what do you learn?
A religion?
If you go to state school, what do you learn?
A state?
Oh, you learn the state, and that's what it's become. That's what the public schools become. How can we indoctrinate you into the state? And unfortunately, people are fortunately, people in Florida, we've rebelled against it. We've raged against the machine. We said no to the Common Core. And a lot of
You know, what's funny is Rage Against the Machine wouldn't be a big fan of
Rage Against the
machine being raged against.
Yeah, unfortunately, Rage Against the Machine is kind of a mega misguided. Misguided. But anyways, they say they care about the kids, but then we don't teach our kids like reading, writing, or arithmetic. We talked about that in our show. They claim that they're so worried about the kids at the border and so on and so forth, but they're the same ones that literally are preaching infanticide now. The Democratic platform used to be safe, rare, and legal for abortions. Now it's on demand whenever you want to. Oh, they're 35, you can kill them still. It's okay. That's what it's becoming. That's an exaggeration a little bit. But they're talking about having kids, putting on the baby on the table, and then discussing what's going to happen in future. That was never told to me. I was just said, oh, it's an abortion. It's just a procedure. It's just a fetus. It's just a... And then when you wake up and smell the roses, and then you're like, oh gosh, this is murder. Maybe the Democrats don't care because they teach some state education and this indoctrination into the state, and then they try to kill your kids before they even come out of the womb. This is what the left is. The left is pushing these ideas, then they're pushing the Green New Deal. They're trying to smash that down your throat, which is hilarious to me. They're so fixated with this idea that man-made intervention into our climate is really going to change some things. And when it's really, really hot, guess what they say? It's global warming. When it's really cold, they're like, well, it's climate change. And they will do this every single time. And they will preach to you that you're the bad guy and that you're the one that's doing it as they fly their private jets all over the country.
They'll Jedi trick you.
They'll wizard you.
You're a science denier. Oh, I wouldn't want to be a science denier. Oh. That's kind of like a Holocaust denier, and we know that's bad.
I know, man.
It is.
Might be like one of those flat earthers or something. But anyways, my point is this. You can't buy into this crap. And here's the other thing about the left. I used to think the left had the moral high ground until I really believed or really saw what they were there for. They're not about morality. They're about power. That's it. That's it. It's not moral to kill babies. No one would agree with that. It's not moral to steal, which is higher tax rates. It's not moral to to take someone's freedom away to start a business and then take that person's ability to hire other people that could help them their lives. It's not right. It's not right. Their stances anymore. It's not JFK flipping between JFK and Ronald Reagan. It's not that anymore. Now it's Bernie Sanders, the Bernie Bros, and I know a lot of you want to vote for him because you've bought into the we're going to get free education. Mm-hmm. How's public education now?
Phantom Zero. Morality is how they sell to you.
Exactly.
Yes, they have weaponized Judeo-Christian morals against us.
No, they don't believe it.
They weaponized our compassion. And so they present everything as, as they frame it as we just want to help people. But all underlie, you cut away into that surface and it's just skulls and death and decay and the destruction of everything that makes America great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It's like I want to know what the morality is of giving people a piss poor minimum or welfare, and then hoping to God that they stay dependent on that. What's the morality in that? I thought we were supposed to help people out of their situation, to help them get to different places, and sometimes that's tough love. Sometimes I'm saying, hey, we got to put a foot in your... And I'm doing that in real life with a lot of real situations. I've got to be tough on people. Not because I'm trying to be a prick, not because I'm trying to be an a-hole, but I'm trying to push people to be better in better situations. That's what progresses. That's the true progress that would happen in our country if we push people to be more. But they really want... This is the left platform is they want you to be born into a single-parent home. They want that. They reward that in the welfare system. They reward that as they want to replace the dad with the government. It's proven over and over again. 70% of African Americans are born into single-parent homes. It's almost 50% now across the country. This is what they want. They want you to go to public schools and not have public choice. They get mad that you want to do school vouchers, that you want to have the choice to send your kids wherever you want to. They get mad about that because they're trying to elevate the state. They get mad that you want to save the life of an unborn kid. They get mad that you don't want to get taxed anymore. They get mad that you want to elevate your situation to another place in this world. They want to keep you where you want to be. They get mad about a lot of things. They get mad that our army's strong. That's the other one that I laugh about. And everybody's like, oh, we spend too much on military and blah, 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 blah. You don't want a level playing field when it comes to military.
No.
Not at all. You want an absolutely unfair advantage for the good old red, white, and blue. You don't want the opposite, because guess what? Evil, in the face of weakness, will take advantage of it. Trust me.
Take, for instance, the left's favorite enemy right now, Russia. Now, Mitt Romney was right when he said that Russia is the greatest geopolitical threat out there. And then, and Barack Obama said that the 80s wanted their politics back, or their international politics back, or whatever. Meanwhile, and of course, Hillary Clinton had her reset moment where they couldn't even get the right word to put on the button.
Yep.
But then now all of a sudden Russia's like a big time enemy, and they're a huge problem because Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad.
But they're actually right. Russia is a problem, and yet we want to decrease the power of our military.
Of course.
To
allow that to happen. Or to allow Sharia law to happen. Or to allow any of the enemies of our state to come in and take us over. But at the end of the day...
That ties into the border wall. Same
concept.
Threats.
Open borders. Abortions on command.
Yeah, it's all
this is the seismic shift. And we could talk about this for days, but here's the thing. You got to understand
Elizabeth Warren wrote a book about border security and how it was a problem for Americans.
Now she's flip-flopping.
Because at the time, the argument from the left was that Republicans wanted the illegal immigration so that we could have our evil corporations pay people less than American citizens. And so she wrote a book about how that was evil and how we needed to have border security.
And now,
because conservatives are saying what they've always been saying.
Yeah. Shocker.
What actual conservatives are saying, but the political conservatives,
Yep.
are in favor of it. Now it's evil.
YouTube, hey, if you're on Instagram right now watching us, we're gonna kick you guys over to YouTube, man. Make sure you follow us on Plausible Foolishness. It's going live right now. We got about 10 more minutes. Switch over to good old Plausible Foolishness.
30 free minutes we gave you.
30 free minutes.
It's all free on YouTube too. So.
It's great. You had great debates today, which I really love, man. Appreciate everybody that followed us on Instagram. But switch over to good old YouTube, guys. See ya. That's good. But we got a heated debate over there on Instagram today.
Yeah, it's good.
I liked it. But anyways, I love my boy jumping in too, man. Thank you for your service, man. We appreciate you for doing that. But anyways, here's the deal. Here's the seismic shift. Here's the reality, not the conspiracy theory, not the.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
We're not turning the frogs gay here, okay? This is what it is. The left is not the same part of the coin. The coin got broken. It just is what it is. Now, is the right better? I'm not saying the right's any better. I'm not not advocating. John McCain is probably one of the most corrupt, evil people. I probably dislike him more than Bill Clinton.
The parties aren't necessarily the answer. So
No.
we're not saying vote Republican 100% of the time.
You do whatever you want.
What we are saying is that the right's values, the actual right, conservatism, libertarianism, to a lesser degree, anarcho-capitalism, I'm not fully sold on that.
Them Trumpsters.
But, that is the moral choice.
Yeah.
It is the right way to go.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. How many jobs have the left created?
They get a ton of government jobs.
How many private sector jobs did they create?
0. Yeah, nuts.
Which is
they
the
probably
majority.
lost a bunch.
How many have the right created? Do your research. Look it up yourself. How does the right actually view science versus the left? The right would look at a unborn child inside the womb and see that's a life. Scientifically, it's proven that it's going to be a life. It is a life from the beginning. The left would say, it's a fetus thingy. You can kill it. But then flip her out. Once you get through the magical vagina hole, then magically you're a person. Which is crazy to me, which, whatever,
Yeah.
It's all good.
You've been deemed a person. You
Yeah.
have personhood.
The left says, oh yeah, we want to be a country of open borders. The right says, if you got open borders, you don't have a country. You don't really have that. If you have no control of your immigration system, you have no country. God forbid. It's the same. We've had this argument a million times. Imagine your home without any doors, locks, fences. Do you have a home?
Now, of course, the left has a really strong counter argument.
Oh, okay, what's that? Oh, yeah.
You're a racist.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're racist. Yeah, right?
So that's effective and,
Listen,
gosh.
I get it. The right has always been painted as the evil ones, but do your history, the Republican Party was started to end slavery. They're the ones that voted for civil rights. They're the ones that ended Jim Crow.
They're the ones who took beatings in the Capitol building.
They're the ones that are creating more jobs for African Americans than any other president of all time. And that's not my wizardry hand. That's reality. Trump has the lowest unemployment for minorities and women of any president.
I saw, this was months and months ago, but it was like black companies, like businesses started by black people, up 400%.
That's weird. More than when it was going on with Obama.
Yeah, I know. That's so strange.
So strange, right?
It's so weird because, surely when intersectionality and, social justice gets implemented, that this would all get better, right? When that conversation would start, that would all get better,
Nope.
right?
No.
Because that was clearly the problem.
Nope.
Or was it economic policies and freedom?
Oh, weird. At the end of the day, does the right want to control you, or
No. That's the whole point.
the
I
right
want you to have the power to run your life
do whatever you want?
and the dignity of doing that.
Yep. Do what you want as long as you don't hurt any other people. That's literally the right stance. The left wants to thought control you, mind control you. They want to control everything that you're doing. They want to say things like net neutrality and really control things and control what's going on and control the means of production, which is socialism. They don't want to elevate. They want to bring people down. There's a massive difference. That's what they actually want. They want, like, the proof's in the pudding at this point. And if you're going to vote for Bernie, understand there's no such thing as a free lunch. They're going to promise free college and free education. And was Ocasio-Cortez was talking about giving a wage to people that didn't even want to work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Unwilling to work.
Even if you're unwilling to work, we'll get you a job. That doesn't
we'll
work.
Get you money.
Listen, if you want to see how that works, look at Venezuela. And here's the thing. They don't want to talk about what Venezuela on the left because it's a reality. They were for years preaching how awesome Venezuela was. And now they're seeing the chickens have come to roost. And that's the difference. That's the seismic shift. I've been really good about that in this show. Mm-hmm. The seismic shift is what is really happening. What is the left and what is the right? And you got to decide that for yourself, whatever you want to do. We're not here to judge that or whatever, but here's the deal. There's a reason why we have electoral college. There's a reason why we vote for our governors here in Florida. That's why we love Ron DeSantis. I'm very proud of you, Mr. DeSantis. I'm going to hashtag you in our thing when we do later on. Thank you for getting rid of Common Core. Thank you for giving us the freedom to do what we've got to do. Hopefully you get tough on abortion down the road as well. We're liking that as well. But at the end of the day, we have the freedom to govern ourselves. We have a republic, or we live in a republic. We vote for our guys, officials to.
And that's the thing. Like you mentioned, the electoral college, the democratic part of socialism, of democratic socialism, isn't anything better. Democracy doesn't work. Just read the writings of our founders. We're not a democracy. I know we've been fed that a million times over. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. Okay.
I put an Instagram post up. I think, did you see it?
Yeah. Like, what our vote would be?
Yeah. If you actually got rid of the electoral college, 4 states would be voting for everything that happens in the country: Florida, New York, Texas, California. Do you really want people from New York, who are losing money hand over fist because people are moving out of New York to dictate what you're doing?
Same with California.
Same thing with California. And guess where those New York people are moving? Florida. Guess where the people from California are moving? Texas.
Because those states are actually working.
Thriving.
But here's the thing, is that they don't. The worst part is that they don't understand why they're leaving the state. And so they bring their voting patterns to the state that works because they don't vote the way you vote.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the electoral college. Democracy is a tyranny unto itself. It's the tyranny of the majority. We talk about minority issues all the time, but the real minority that gets left out, that's the only one that really counts. Because ultimately, minorities, it's just a difference of skin color and, birthplace.
Yep.
The only minority that really matters is the minority of the individual, and the minority of the individual gets stamped out by the majority in a democracy every time.
I knew you were going to say that, but still, I was getting ready for it. I was like, individual. Yes. It's like watching Jeopardy. I'm like, individual. Got it. So here's the deal, man. Do you want to be an individual, or do you want to just get smashed into the masses? What do you want to do? You want to kill babies on command, or do you want to, protect lives? Do you care about the education of your kids, or, the freedom to learn something new? Do you care about freedom? Do you care about these things? If you care about freedom, if you care about, your future wealth, taking care of your kids, if you care about your freedoms, by all means, if you care about those things, Bernie's not going to be your guy. Yeah. Kamala's not going to be your girl. Elizabeth Warren is not going to be your girl. And I know, I get it. Orange man bad. Orange man evil. But in 2020, this guy's actually doing all the things he said he was doing.
Orange man actually badass.
No, Orange man is badass. I like that we flipped that in Plausible Foolishness. Orange man's badass. But here's the deal. If you like killing babies, if you like all your decisions being taken away from you, if you like being taxed, If you like living at a impoverished level like everyone else, if you like scraping by, if you want to eat some zoo animals and stuff like that down the road, if you want to run out of bread, because bread lines are good, remember? Bernie Sanders said that. Bread lines are good. They're good. Look it up. It's fun. If you're into that stuff, be a Bernie bro. I get it. All that stuff sounds great. Free college. Free stuff. Free. Here's the reality. Freedom ain't free, kiddos. And there's a seismic shift going on. Which side are you going to be on? Thanks for watching the show. It's been a good one tonight. Don't kill the individual, man. We're the P-Fools. Follow us, like us, subscribe and share on YouTube. Thanks for everybody that participated on Instagram today. It was really good, man. It was good. Thanks for saving my voice, my man. Saving my voice big time today. Great points today. We have to have him on more often.
Yeah, it's cool. Good.
I got to bring him back on the show. But dude, it's been a really good one, man. Hopefully, got a little bit of interaction for the people. We're growing faster than the universe itself, man. We got people live calling in our shows now. We got live. That was our first live caller.
Yeah.
First live caller.
Cool.
We're like blowing up, man. What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
A year from now, we're gonna be at the Bezos store, man.
And we didn't talk about this. You saw the number today.
What's up?
This is episode 52. Ooh. This is 1 year of Plausible Foolishness.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Episode 52.
In the books. We're a year into this game. Today. Congratulations, man.
Congrats.
Dude,
It's been a pleasure.
We got some years to go still, man.
Yeah, we do.
We're building it up, but it's all good. You're not sick of me yet, man.
Yeah.
And he's getting quads. He's getting for real. It's getting jacked up right here. We love you guys. We have a good one, man. Make sure you check out the 5th Degree Burn if you're one of our Patreons. Sorry, I don't have a voice.
If you're not one of our Patreons, go to patreon.com/plausiblepoolishness and, see if you like what we got to offer.
And listen, if you can't spare a nickel, it's okay. We don't all have it. Like, subscribe, share on YouTube. I know we said it a million times, but like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share on YouTube.
Hey, you know what they should do? They should like, subscribe, and share on YouTube.
Peace.